Hey guys, today I'm back with another special short episode. Today I'm going to talk about my journey with singleness and how I've come to accept why I like being single and why I feel like it's the best fulfilling life for me. And this goes contrary to a lot of cultural expectations about singleness and how in adulthood and how you're supposed to live your life as an adult. I enjoy my solitude. I enjoy being single, but I think maybe society's idea of a fulfilled life doesn't align with my values and who I am. So that creates a lot of conflict, especially if those around you ask questions, and they can be meaningful, coming from a meaningful place and a well-meaning place. They can sometimes ask, well, when are you going to start dating? Where's that girl? Where's your, you know, where's your girlfriend? Or did you start dating yet? All those questions, which I'm gonna get to later in the episode. But first, let's start out with kind of how I came to terms with me being single and enjoying that, and just feeling so free being single. Guys, I'm 19 years old. I don't know. I don't think age doesn't really matter right now, but I'm 19 years old and I've never been in a romantic relationship, and I don't want to be in a romantic relationship. I am perfectly content with my life and have come to terms with that within the past year or so. It's been doing a lot of like just self discovery of who I am and what I want in my life. And what I want it seems to be different from what is society deems as normal, and I've come to terms with that being okay. I'm not someone that wants a relationship. I don't want I don't want a girlfriend. People keep asking me if you want to date. I don't want to date. I never really found dating to be something that I want to do, and that's because I it's just how I am, and I that's not to say that okay, I'm not like shaming people that do date, or like okay, people that date are in a romantic relationship. Sorry, my words are weird today. People that are in a romantic relationship, that's fine if they find happiness in that. But I also kind of want to do this episode because there are a lot of people like me that are what Bella DePaulo calls as single at heart, and are actually content being single, but society seems to shame that, or society seems to stigmatize single at heart people, and that's how I describe myself as is single at heart. And I'm so happy being single, and I wouldn't want it any other way. And in this episode, I'm going to be referencing a lot of Bella DePaulo's recent book, Single at Heart, which I recommend anyone that who wants to be single and wants to embrace that life. I recommend anyone go read that book. It changed my life and how I viewed my life as an adult. And it's kind of just says that you are a valid adult and your life is valid even without a romantic partner that's not needed. Um, it's you don't need that. So for the single at heart people, they know that that's not what they want. But the problem is that living in a society that maybe, well, at least now, I'm saying like I'm trying to choose my words carefully, but still now in recent years, it's still like kind of prior romantic a romantic relationship is still prioritized over any other type of relationships. And it's kind of like a hierarchy where your spouse is at the top. But with single at heart people, people that are single, um, like me, for instance, I have a wide range of community. I don't have like just one person. I have many people in my life that I have a relationship with, whether that be my grandmother that I call, or my aunt that we always do check-ins, and my granddad that I basically call every every weekend. It's like a ritual now that we call every weekend, but it could be your friendships. Friendship. I talk so much about friendship on the podcast. It's such a huge part of my life that I value, and I'm like that those people that put friendship at the center of their lives, but that's not like everyone. Or right now, with me right now, sitting on my lap is my cat. My cat Sasha, my pet, who I value so much. And yeah, so okay, what I'm saying is community, we value like different forms of community and relationships. And I think that's like kind of the freedom that comes with singleness. But we balance that out with our own solitude and alone time. I am a super introverted person. I like my alone time. I like to read and to do like solitary activities like walking or gardening. That's um, that's me. It's kind of what I like to do, and I can sometimes go off the radar with people that they think I'm dead, but I'm not dead. But yeah. So single at heart people, I think what I want to do in this episode is to validate your experience and to validate who you are as a person and to let you know that you're still an adult. There's no um, there's no like parameter that you should just or expectation that you have to live by. This is you're living your authentic self as an adult is being single, and I think that needs to be embraced if that's what makes you happy. I don't think I don't think that you should get in a romantic relationship because other people said that you should, but because you have the desire to do that. And you shouldn't feel shame because you're not in a romantic relationship. Um, not everyone has that desire, and I think it should be. I think people that choose to be single or that are like content being single, hopefully, like in the next couple of years, that will be more normalized now. I think Bella DePaulo started it with her book Single at Heart. She started she started normalizing it, and I think the more people that kind of come out come out as a lack of a better word as single, people that come out as single um, can encourage others that they can have a fulfilling life being single as well. I personally, yeah, like I said, I've never been in a romantic relationship, and I don't want that. I think I'm content with that, and you can be too. So it's more about of acceptance of your lifestyle and your acceptance of your authentic self, um, because maybe you've been conditioned or socialized to believe that the only way of life is with a partner, but knowing that deep down inside that doesn't fit who you are, that might it that might create unnecessary shame. So I think it starts with acceptance, and I think it for me it was like I'm going to decide to commit to my authentic self, not to who someone wants me to be. As growing up as young adults or as adult or even older adults, you can face the shame of not living up to your parents' expectations or society's expectations. And being single is a huge area of that, where you realize that that's not this is a lifestyle that is most fulfilling to me, but everyone around me wants me to be something else. and that can create so much inner conflict and just inner, like, inner turmoil sometimes, because you feel like you're not good enough or not valid enough as an adult without a romantic partner. But that is a myth that American culture has kind of brought on. It's a myth that to be a valid adult, you must be married at a certain age. You don't, and there's so many. There's so much freedom with being single, and there's so much type of so many areas of community that you probably didn't notice that you do already, or that you didn't notice before, that you can just embrace because of the freedom that comes with being single. I'm going to be reading a quote from the book Single at Heart by Bella DePaulo. It says, "People who stay single have often been stereotyped as not fully adult because we do not meet the conventional milestone of getting married." And this is so true, is that people that are single at heart um, are seen as not fully adult, or seen as even childish, because they choose to not have a partner. But being with a romantic partner doesn't always say, um, doesn't always say that you're a mature adult. Even single people can be mature just as much as people in a relationship. Um, but yeah, it's interesting what she says. And then she goes on to say, "The single at heart are rewriting what it means to be an adult. We create meaningful and fulfilling life paths beyond the confines of conventional family life." And Bella DePaulo kind of goes on like what's conventional and versus what's the single at heart people create a life that is meaningful to them. And that's what singleness basically is. I guess my definition of singleness is creating a life that is meaningful to you, and that a life that is meaningful to you doesn't include a romantic relationship, but includes other things that are not seen as conventional. Um, it's not, it kind of goes against like the family, get married, raise a family, have kids, you know, that doesn't align with what you want to do with your life, and that's totally okay, and it's totally okay to not want that. And I'm mostly saying this to myself because I kind of still deal with like the maybe the singleness shame, where I feel happy, but like I feel like I'm not supposed to be happy on being without a romantic partner, and it feels weird. It's like a weird, it's a weird, it's a weird concept where you feel you're already happy, but it's just it's weird. It's just you don't have a romantic partner, but you're still happy, and um, you're able to be a fulfilled adult, and that is what singleness is being fulfilled in who you are authentically, and having the courage to do that. Um, Now it can be hard, um, given the pressures, but I think once you accept that as your life, you don't want to go back to other people's expectations. So basically, she says you live your best life as single, and I want to, at least maybe not in this episode. I'm not gonna like It's a short episode, so I'm not gonna go too much into it, but I wanted to at least kind of give my position on it and begin the conversation of allowing us to see single as not as less than or as something that you're lacking, but as abundance. You are complete and whole as a single person. You're complete and whole as who you are living your adult life authentically. And that is what I wanted to kind of go through on this episode. Um, I plan on talking about it more so in the future, but I kind of wanted to begin talking about it today and kind of release the shame of being single. There should be no shame around how you want to live your life. And it's kind of what I'm doing today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be back soon.